The intricate dance of cause and effect shapes the tapestry of our lives, a concept poetically described in various spiritual teachings. If we were to envision this relationship through the metaphor of a tree, think of the roots as the invisible spiritual forces that operate behind the scenes. These roots nourish the visible world, the branches, leaves, and fruits that we experience in our daily lives. Picture it. The roots, hidden deep underground, represent the unseen spiritual forces at work in your life. These are the energies and laws that dictate what you attract and what you repel. Just like roots sustain a tree, these spiritual forces nourish your visible world, the relationships you have, the opportunities you come across, even the challenges you face. But allow me to introduce a transformative concept that shatters conventional paradigms. These spiritual roots that underlie the reality we witness are not fixed or immutable. Rather, they are pliable to the will and intention we project. Just as an artist can mold clay into forms limited only by imagination, so too can we nourish and shape these ethereal roots with our focused thoughts and intentions. This revelation moves us from the role of mere spectators to empowered participants actively scripting the scenes in the grand theater of existence. With this shift, we cease to be passive leaves, swayed by the winds of fate, and become the intentional gardeners of our own spiritual soil. While it may be tempting to focus on the visible material world, doing so yields only temporary transformations. For meaningful and lasting change, it's essential to target the roots, our hidden spiritual forces. By nurturing the spiritual roots through focused intention, we can bring forth a reality that aligns with our deepest values. It's not merely about the visible leaves or branches, but about altering the very soil in which our life tree grows. This dual journey influences not just our individual lives, but the collective fabric of reality itself. Imagine that each of us is like a thread in a vast tapestry, which together creates the larger picture of human experience and reality. The journey you're on isn't just personal, it's part of a collective undertaking. As you align your inner spiritual forces, those invisible roots we've been talking about, you're not just affecting the quality of your own life. You're also influencing the bigger narrative, the collective fabric of what we all experience together as reality. Each time you make a choice guided by a higher understanding of these spiritual laws, each time you nurture your roots with focused intentions and goodwill, you're adding a positive thread to the collective tapestry. The more people who engage in this dual journey of inner and outer alignment, the more the overall picture starts to shift. So, in essence, the transformation you undergo has a ripple effect, touching lives far beyond your immediate circle. When we speak of cause and effect, we are really navigating through this hidden domain. Starting this journey is like cracking a secret code. It's a way to understand the hidden aspects that are calling the shots in your life. Imagine them as unseen spiritual forces that form the bedrock of your existence. They are the invisible architects that build the structure of your life, silently shaping your destiny. As elusive as they are, impactful. Think of these roots as the source code of your life. A code not written in any computer language, but in the spiritual syntax of cause and effect. Just as roots draw nutrients from the earth to nourish the tree, so do your inner spiritual forces harvest experiences from the universe to shape your reality. Often we forget that there's a whole world inside of us, just as vast and complex as the one outside. This inner world is where your life's path is actually shaped. You've probably heard about the law of attraction, which says your thoughts and feelings have the power to change your life. But there's a catch. you need to clear away the mental roadblocks first. Think of your mind as governed by the spiritual law of cause and effect, like a sacred space where every thought, belief, or emotion you harbor acts as a cause that shapes an effect in your life. When your mental room is cluttered with fears, doubts, and negativity, the law works just the same. Those become the causes that yield negative effects in your life, like a spiritual mirror reflecting back what you put in front of it. However, the power of this spiritual law is in its neutrality. It doesn't differentiate between positive and negative. So, when you start to declutter this mental room, when you actively face your fears and doubts, you're essentially setting new causes in motion. These causes, stemming from a clean mental slate and a nourished spiritual realm, are then bound to yield positive effects. You're leveraging the spiritual law of cause and effect to your advantage. As you replace fears with courage, doubts with certainty, and negativity with creativity, you're sowing the seeds of positive causes. Through spiritual alignment, these causes then bring about effects that are not just beneficial to you, but are in harmony with the universe's natural order. In this way, your efforts to declutter are not just psychological exercises, they're spiritual acts. You're not only changing your mindset, but also shifting the very energies that surround you. This is you acting as a conscious participant in the spiritual law of cause and effect, turning your life into a beautiful sequence of positive events. As you begin to understand these foundational shifts within you, it's important to acknowledge that change is often met with resistance. Imagine for a moment that your spiritual roots have been soaking up the same type of nourishment for years, perhaps even decades. The roots have become accustomed to drawing from particular energies or thought patterns, almost as if they've settled into a spiritual groove. This is spiritual inertia in action. It's as if the roots of your life tree are stuck in the same soil patch, resisting movement, even if that soil is barren or less nurturing than it could be. Think of spiritual inertia as a form of gravitational pull within the underground tapestry of your spiritual roots. This force keeps you locked into familiar yet limiting circumstances, old habits, or repeated thought patterns. In some instances, it's a protective mechanism, helping to maintain stability in your life. But when the aim is transformation, this inertia acts as a hindrance, delaying the shift towards a more aligned spiritual self. In the physical world, overcoming inertia requires an application of force. The same is true in the spiritual realm. Overcoming spiritual inertia requires a force of will, but not just any will, a directed, purposeful intention. This is akin to a gardener deliberately choosing to irrigate different areas of the ground to encourage the roots to explore richer soil. When you consciously redirect your focus and energies, you act as that gardener, exerting the force needed to overcome the spiritual inertia that keeps your roots, and by extension, your life, stagnant. However, be prepared. Just as a tree doesn't immediately sprout new branches or bear fruit as soon as the roots hit richer soil, the effects of overcoming spiritual inertia are not instantaneous. It requires time, sustained focus, and above all, patience. Sometimes, the inertia is so deeply ingrained that it may feel like you're battling against a gravitational field. Yet, with consistent effort, your roots will start to shift, seeking nutrients from new spiritual soil, thereby altering the visible aspects of your life tree. It's a slow dance between the visible and invisible worlds. But remember, the more you exert your will to overcome this inertia, the more malleable it becomes, until one day it transforms from a stubborn obstacle into a willing partner in your spiritual journey. And so, you evolve from being confined by your spiritual inertia to becoming its master, capable of directing it towards a life in harmony with your deepest values and aspirations. Thank you for joining me on this enlightening journey. Before you go, if this message resonated with you, if you felt a spark of empowerment, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear this, and let's get the conversation started in the comments below.